My camera person said, "You forgot to taste it." So here, guys, I know what it tastes like. I've been eating it all week. Hey guys, welcome to my vegan kitchen. I'm Michelle. Today, it's all about what I eat in a day. I'm going to show you what I eat from breakfast to dinner and why I started counting calories. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, tap on the bell, and let's have some fun. So now that I'm back from that 4-mile walk, I'm gonna rehydrate with some water, and I'm gonna also add some lemon, just half a lemon, just to get some vitamin C in there, and just so the water is not plain. It's gonna help start my digestive system. So when I eat lunch or when I have this fruit, everything will be digested nice and easy. So with my water, I'm gonna have some cantaloupe. Now, I've been measuring my food out just to make sure that I am eating within my calorie deficit, right? Just so I'm portion control, because God knows I was not portion controlling before and I was just eating array. Now, I like cantaloupe to hydrate because it has a lot of water and it's very low in calories. And it tastes good. Plus it has lots of vitamins and minerals, so I know that I'm getting dual purpose, something that tastes good and something that's good for my body. So let me measure out. Usually I do about a cup of cantaloupe, and this is about a cup right here. And to spice up my cantaloupe, I add some tahini. I just love tahini on watermelon, any kind of melon, and mangoes. It just gives it like a really nice flavor. And that's my after workout snack before I go and get myself cleaned up for lunch. Cheers. Okay guys, I'm all cleaned up and I'm ready for lunch. But before we dive into this recipe, I want to do a weekly weigh-in. I've been starting to weigh myself, monitor what I'm eating, and I want you guys to be part of it. And I also want to thank Hume for sponsoring this video. So come on, let's do my weigh-in. All right, guys, you ready for this weigh-in? This is my Hume Body Pod. I love this scale. Hume, this scale has changed my life, so thank you. Let's do this weigh-in. This is such a nice, light, portable scale. You basically can move it around the house. You could take it with you. It's so easy. All right, so let's lay it down. And guys, I'm a little nervous. So I've been weighing myself now for about 2 weeks. As you guys know, going through menopause, and with menopause comes a little bit of weight gain. And even though I'm on hormone replacement therapy, and that's balancing my hormones, I still have to be mindful about the amount of calories that I'm taking in. So, got a little thick in certain places. Even though I'm happy with the way I look, this scale tells me a whole lot more. So I'm gonna hop on. There is an app. So let me go into my little app section here. All right, so let me place my phone right here. I'm gonna hop on this scale, and this gives you a full body analysis. So I'm gonna hold on, and here we go. All right, guys, womp, womp, womp. So I'm gonna be totally transparent with you guys, right? So I started to do this, tracking my weight about a week ago. All right, I know you guys are looking at me and you're like, Michelle, you're crazy. Why would you want to lose weight? It's not so much losing weight, but understanding my body composition, what's metabolically going on inside of my body. And this is what the Hume scale does. It helps to tell me what actually is happening. Like I said, I've been gaining some weight, and this is a lot of weight for me, believe it or not. I know you guys are looking and saying you're crazy, but for me personally, it's a lot. I'm normally around 145. That is my normal weight. I'm 5'5". I'm normally around 145. And when I first did this at my doctor, because this is kind of the same scale that's at your doctor's office, I was at 164. Like, that's crazy to me. To gain that much weight made no sense. Almost 20 pounds in a year. That was a lot for me. So then I got this scale, and so much more convenient because you only do that at your doctor's office, which is only annually. This I can do whenever I need to. So once I did this, I was at 162 pounds to start. A week ago. Womp, womp, womp. I have not lost. I did check my weight straight for maybe about 3 days, and I lost like 1 pound. So basically it's showing me that I went back up 1 pound, but I'm okay with it because like I said, I just started to monitor this about a week. My goal weight is around I'm gonna try for 141, but I think it's probably gonna be more like 145. We're gonna see how it goes, guys. We're gonna see how it goes. But look at this. This is so amazing. This breaks everything down. That is my weight. It's gonna break down my body fat percentage, my lean muscle mass, subcutaneous fat, my visceral fat. It tells all of this, but this is what I love when you press the body. It basically gives you a full body analysis. So now y'all see all of my business. Like I said, I'm 5'5". My metabolic age here today is 50, which is a lot because I'm trying to get it down to 40 something. I'm 53 years old. And then it tells you like your whole body composition, where your muscles are. And isn't that just the best thing? So this is what I'm looking at mostly, guys. Not just my weight, but my body fat percentage is pretty high. Even though I have good lean body mass, it's at standard, that's a little high. So I want to bring that down. My skeleton muscle mass, pretty high. That's a good thing. My body water percentage, that's pretty standard. I could drink more water. This is an important one. The basal metabolic rate is at 1354. So that means I'm burning calories, good calories. It's high, 1354 calories just sitting still. So I love that this tells you just about everything that a regular scale can't tell you. This scale is definitely the one to get. I love this scale because now I feel like it gives me the knowledge that I need to get me to the next level. Because as you could see, some of those markers were pretty high, but we're gonna work on it, guys. So that's why I'm showing you these recipes and I'm showing you what I'm gonna eat today. And not every day is gonna be the same. It's gonna be different, but I have to really monitor with exercise what I'm eating to bring this weight down a little bit. So metabolically, I'm healthy on the inside, not just looking fine on the outside. All right, so after that weigh-in, let's make some lunch. This is really simple. So what I've realized, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, the simpler the ingredients, the less calories and the less counting that you have to do. So this is gonna be an air-fried calabaza, which is pumpkin, and zucchini with tofu. I have learned to start really reading labels. So I know I always say to you guys, read your labels, but now I have to read the serving size on the label. A block of tofu, the block of tofu that I have normally serves 6. Because I wasn't counting, I literally was eating like half a block of tofu at a time. I had to now break it down and cut it down into 6 servings. So what I did, I just cut them and placed them in this container. and then I'll have 6 cubes. So when it comes time for me to make lunch or prepare any kind of meals, it's really easy for me to already have it measured out. So that is my serving size of tofu. It goes right in the bowl. I've started measuring most of my food on a food scale. So because I've been doing this recipe for about a week now, I already know that a small zucchini is 1 serving. So I'm just gonna cube that down, skin on. It's all washed already. All right, we got ourselves some pumpkin. I'm just gonna peel the skin off of this. And that skin is pretty tough, so make sure you're using a nice sharp knife. Now, instead of pumpkin, you can also use butternut squash. That works well also. Remember what I said, the simpler the ingredients, the less you have to track, plus the less calories that you have to worry about. This is a simple tahini dressing. You're just gonna use 1 lemon, well, half of a lemon, I should say 1 lemon. We're just gonna get the juice of half of a lemon into a bowl. Oh, this is a good lemon. It has a lot of juice, so that gives me a lot of dressing. We're gonna use a tablespoon of tahini. Oh, got a little lemon there. And when I tell you I measure stuff out, I measure stuff out now. So, tablespoon, that's it. Pop that in there. Let me scoop that out a little bit, get all that I can get. All right, and maple syrup to sweeten that up. I'm gonna use a teaspoon of maple syrup, and that's plenty to sweeten this up. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt. Okay, and we're just gonna give that a good stir. You don't have to put it in the blender, you don't have to put it anywhere else. Just give it, you can even use a whisk for this, and it's gonna become a nice creamy dressing for our roasted vegetables. Look at that. I've been living on this all week. What's nice about tahini is that it's rich in calcium and iron and also protein. So this is a good dressing for your roasted vegetables, and easy, right? The roasted vegetables are done. Look how pretty those look. And look how much food. This is actually 1 serving. Now, I don't think I could eat all of this, even though I have before, but let's get some of this into my plate. Actually, you know what? Let's get all of it in my plate. I am lying. I'm lying to you guys. Let's get all of it in there. It looks like a lot of food, but the first time that I made this, I was like, that's a lot of food. And I ate half of it, and I was like, I could eat some more. What's nice, this is low in calories, right? So we're just gonna put the dressing on it. That really helps to bring out the flavor. But like I said, look how pretty that is. Low in calories, high in fiber. It has protein, lots of protein, iron, calcium from the dressing. But like I said, I've been putting it in my little app, and this meal right here, let me tell you, this meal has a whopping 379 calories. So for my lunch, I'm having 379 calories of total goodness. Isn't that wonderful? I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I hope you guys try this recipe, and I'll have my snack and my dinner coming up soon. This is good. Oh God, this is my favorite. So after my roasted vegetables, I'm just making a quick latte, a matcha latte, to wash down those roasted vegetables. And like I said, I measured everything. So even my agave, I'm measuring that in to make sure I'm not going over calories. Perfect. So here's my easy snack idea. Easy. We're not doing any cooking or anything like that. This is just some vegan yogurt. I'm just gonna measure it out because what? I am measuring everything. So this is just about a quarter cup of vegan yogurt, a quarter cup, 3/4 of a cup. All right, in the bowl, we're gonna add some chia seeds because we have to add protein. Tablespoon of chia seeds. This is unsweetened yogurt, so I'm gonna use a little bit of agave, and of course, I measured it out, a tablespoon of agave, just to give that some sweetness, and some almond butter. This is gonna give it the flavor that it needs. So let's get some, again, another tablespoon. And guys, before I used to just pour this right in. I wouldn't measure anything out, but I have learned that you have to measure in order to control your portion size. So I just mix this all together. I give it like about a minute or two just to let the chia seeds kind of expand a little bit, just so it does less work in digestion by expanding in my stomach. But that's it. That is my snack for the late afternoon before dinner. Oh, that almond butter is so good. This is really good. So it's dinner time, and we're gonna make a really easy, I always say that, right? But my recipes are so easy, and they're gonna get even easier now that I have to count calories, because I wanna keep it as simple as possible. So when I input it into my app, I don't have a hard time. We're making a Orzo cauliflower rice. Really, really easy. Oh, I should say Orzo cauliflower fried rice. I know I didn't say that right the first time. All right, here we go. We're using TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. I have it soaking in water. So basically this comes dried. You put it in just room temperature water, maybe about 5 minutes or so, and it rehydrates. Once it rehydrates, I'm gonna dump off the water, squeeze out as much water as I can, and we're just gonna get that nice and browned on all sides. So let's get the pasta started. We're gonna start with just a saucepan. Let's get that filled up. I get to use my pot filler. You know, it's so funny. At first, when I had this pot filler installed, I really thought it was just to make the kitchen pretty, but I end up using this more than ever. All right, so now that, let's turn the second one off. Now that we got that going, let's get the flame on, and let's get this to a boil. Also, I want to add a little bit of salt to the water. You know what, let's pop this top. Pasta, I always like to add a little bit more water than you would expect. So, not water, a little bit more salt than you would expect. So let's just pop the top and get more salt in here. Okay. Again, I'm measuring everything, so even the pasta gets measured, because this is one of my favorite recipes. So again, I'm gonna place it in the app because I'm gonna keep coming back to this recipe. So once I put the full quantities within the app, then I can just do like, because it serves 4, so then I could do like 1 serving. And if I have any left over, then it's easy for me to just put it in the app. You know what I'm saying. And get that boiling. While that's boiling, now we're gonna go to the textured vegetable protein. Let's get this. I'm just using a regular frying pan, just like a nice shallow frying pan. I'm gonna add some oil to this. Again, I'm trying to be mindful of how much oil I use. So we're doing about 1/2 tablespoon, and we get that heated up. So now that my oil is nice and hot, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my textured vegetable protein right in there. I like to just kind of toss it around a little bit just to make sure that I'm coating all of the pieces with some oil. And I'm just gonna leave that and just leave it to get brown. So while those are cooking, we have some time to clean up. So once the TVP gets nice and toasty, like you see, like this, we're gonna add some liquid smoke. And then we're gonna add some liquid aminos. And this is just gonna salt it up. And once we do that, give it a nice stir and turn off the flame. Our textured soy protein is now done, or a textured vegetable protein, whatever you guys want to call it. Just take that pot and literally move it to the side. We're just going to place it right on the side. Then we're going to start with a whole new skillet. So now in our new skillet, we're going to add a little bit of oil. So that was a half a tablespoon. We're going to use another half a tablespoon. All right. That should be enough. And we're going to add our onions. We're going to add our bell pepper. And usually I put red and green bell peppers in here, but I only had green today. So that's all that's going to go in there. But I like the contrast between the green and the red just to make it pretty. I like for my meals to look pretty, but we're just going to have to deal with what we have here. We're going to saute this and allow it to kind of come a little bit translucent. I don't want it to overcook. I want everything to be fresh and crisp. So we're just going to give it like a minute and a half. I gave it about 2 minutes. So now that the onions, I could smell them, they're very fragrant. I think it's time to add in the broccoli. I didn't want to add the broccoli in with the onions. I don't want to overcook the broccoli at all. So we just give that a nice little toss, allow the heat to go through it a little bit just to soften it up. So now that we gave the broccoli a little bit of time to kind of just get firm, we're going to add in the cauliflower rice. And all I did with the cauliflower, I took half of a head of cauliflower and I placed it in the food processor for about 7 to 10 seconds, no more than that. And that's how I get this ricey look to it. And I'm just going to toss it gently with my broccoli until the cauliflower loses its volume and cooks a little bit. That's probably going to be about 4 to 5 minutes. All right, I gave it about 3 minutes. And as you can see, the cauliflower has lost its volume. So now we're going to add in the Orzo pasta. I'm going to go ahead and add that pasta in. And this makes a whole lot of dinner, guys. So you'll have definitely leftovers for the week. You can use this for meal prep. Like if you're on a calorie deficit like me and you're trying to watch your calories, make it for meal prep. You'll have dinner for at least 4 nights. All right, give that a nice toss. Make sure everything is incorporated. Now we're going to add back in the soy textured protein. So we're adding in our textured protein. And give that a toss. Make sure that is all combined. And once you get that in there, and I get this question a lot, can I use frozen cauliflower rice? I wouldn't suggest it because it does make it a bit mushy. I think fresh is best because you keep the firmness of the cauliflower. This is fried rice. You don't want it to be mushy at all. All right, I'm going to season with a little bit of Japanese barbecue sauce. This is 35 calories per tablespoon, so we're just going to do 2 tablespoons. So I've measured it so many times, I know it. 1, 2 tablespoons. All right, give that a toss in there. But to add the salt, because this has no calories, we're going to use our liquid aminos. So we're adding, that's like soy sauce for me. Add that in, give it a toss. But to give it a really nice Asian flavor, we're going to add in some sesame oil. This is some roasted sesame oil, a tablespoon. So let's give it a drizzle. That is a tablespoon. All right. Smells so good. And just give it a toss. And just like that, your cauliflower Orzo fried rice is done. You can turn off your stove. The only thing I would add to this is some fresh green onions or scallions. You always want to add that after everything is done and you're ready to plate. So with that being said, we're ready to plate. All right, guys, so you see me here measuring out my meal. So this is a cup of my Orzo cauliflower rice, fried rice. That's what it looks like. That's how much food I have, which is plenty. This is about one serving, a little less than one serving. I try not to put the amount of the serving just in case I want a little bit. It's mind tricks. I could go back and have just like a little bit and I don't feel like I'm depriving myself. So this has about 398 calories, so about 400 calories, which is great because my all day, everything that I've had to eat today, I'm trying to stay on a 1,500 calorie deficit, and it has brought me to about 1,600 calories, which I'm right within where I need to be. Because remember, I went for that walk. I went for that 4-mile walk. So those calories that I burned gets added back in. So actually I'm under. Look at that. So if you guys keep watching me on this journey, I hopefully, yes, it will happen. You will see me lose weight because I will say it over and over again to all of my friends that ask, what is the easiest way for me to lose weight without having to do much? I would tell you the 3 easiest things you could do is log your food, walk, and make sure that you're weighing and knowing what your body analysis is so you know what to do. That's it, guys. Thank you for joining me in my vegan kitchen for what I eat in a day, calorie deficit. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box. I will also leave the ingredients for all of these recipes in the description box. And have a nice day. Thanks, guys. My camera person said, you forgot to taste it. So here, guys, I know what it tastes like. I've been eating it all week, but I'll taste it for you guys. It's really good. It's really, really good. It tastes like fried rice. It's smoky. It has the same flavor as fried rice. The Orzo gives it a nice texture. It's good. It's very satisfying. I don't think I have to go back for seconds. This should be enough. Satisfied? Yes.